I'm Hillary Reynolds.
And I'm Marci Beaucoup, and we're Anti-F.
And this is
Waupaca Local Live.
Lover, could you stay a little longer? Stay until the birds start to cry. There's nothing but the wind in the shadows. They're waiting for your breath outside. Can you feel my fingers twitching? It feels so right. Go and grab a glass from my kitchen. We'll drink away our fears in the wine. Could you stay a little longer? Stay until my tears are dry. 'Cause I don't wanna fall asleep alone.
Welcome to Waupaca Local Live. I'm Wes Powers. In the studio today we have Hillary Reynolds, and I can't think of your name. What I know the face, I can't think of the name. Of course, it's Marci Beaucoup here in the studio today. Let's give it up for these guys. Now, I just want to start the interview. I was at home cramming, and my 8-year-old daughter, wanted to know, what is your guys' favorite color?
Oh, I like the color that the new pine needles, you know, like if you have a pine tree, like a spruce tree, and then the new growth, it's kind of like a tealish, but
Oh,
it's definitely
yeah.
different than the
It
pine
is.
needle color.
No, it is.
That's my favorite color.
That's a great color.
Okay. And you, Hillary? Can you top that?
No.
Yeah, that was pretty intricate.
I
I was
You were
like,
Were you
whoa.
prepared for this?
Yeah.
Did you study
No, but
for
it
this
is.
It's like the
interview?
Discovery Channel right away.
I think that I would have to go with a blue. I like blue.
Okay.
Like my grandma, I really like
Yeah.
blue.
Okay, well, now that that's out of the way, we'll get right down to it. The elephant in the room is you guys are related,
Yeah.
correct?
Yes.
And
DNA.
yeah, DNA.
Strange thing.
So Hillary is Marci's niece.
That's right.
And you guys are kind of doing a thing here in Wisconsin right now called Annie Up.
We are.
It's a tour.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of tour, and can you talk a little bit about that?
Basically, we play all over Wisconsin, and then at the end of the night, I fall asleep in front of the fire on their sofa.
Ooh,
So that's pretty much what it is.
It has been.
It
For
has
us.
been for us.
that kind of sounds like the life, actually.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's been
And
fun.
we play card games, play a lot of skip
Skip-Bo.
Ooh,
and have coffee and toast.
Toast.
We get toast.
But really, seriously, the connection is that, you know, I'm in a band with Baba Ganoush,
Correct.
which is basically a family band. It's
Uh-huh.
not
Otherwise
really a real
known as
band.
Baba.
do we have some audience members from Baba here?
We have people that have played with Baba. We've got our drummer Johnny out there.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
remember John.
Johnny!
And Baba actually kind of evolved from what's called the living room band, and Charlie was in the living room band.
Yes,
And he's
Charlie!
here, which we really appreciate having all these wonderful people. But so my brothers and I actually have, honestly, we've played music since I was in first grade. My parents were musicians. My mom was a concert pianist, and my dad turned out somehow to be a Frank Sinatra impersonator.
Oh, lounge singer esque?
Yeah, like, but all Frank.
Yeah?
All Frank.
Okay.
Really?
So it's
Frank.
really like a heavy duty music family. You know, some families have other things that they're into
Like
as
football?
a group, football or hunting or whatever. Our family just happened to be into music. And so we grew up playing together. My brother Rick, who's our lead guitar player, and I were in a band together in high school. We wore matching tan corduroy outfits.
Oh my God!
Whoa!
Horrifying. Absolutely horrifying.
Why?
Yeah.
I don't
yeah.
know. That's we thought
Why?
we
Were
thought
they
that's
bell
what you were supposed
bottoms
to-
and everything?
Yeah, bell bottoms. He had
Ooh.
a tan vest, and
By
the
the
other
way,
guy Dave.
Rick is my dad.
And Rick
Yeah.
is her dad.
So that's even more mortifying.
Yeah, it's mortifying.
That would not be a good color for him.
I know. It's not a good color for anybody.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And I had this corduroy dress with these wooden buttons on it. It's just like totally
That is
horrible.
mortifying.
Yeah.
So Hillary, where are you from? You're not from, well, you are from the area, but
I'm from Appleton, Wisconsin, born and raised. And then I moved to Boston and went to school out east.
yeah, tell us a little bit about that. You studied music?
Yes, I studied songwriting particularly and graduated from Berklee College of Music, which not many people do because people usually quit and like hit the road or quit music. But basically I lived out there for a while and went to school there, met my bandmates in Boston because they attended Berklee as well. And then last year moved out to LA, which is where I live now.
Yeah.
And yeah, I came back for this 2-week tour in February for some reason.
February. That's like the worst.
The worst time.
The worst time
I
in
feel
Wisconsin.
Like you tricked me. Like what the heck? No, it
I
was
love winter.
You do love winter.
Just
but-
not when it's 20 below. and
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't handle
The first
it.
snow is okay, but yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. But it was, yeah. So I live out in LA now. My band lives out in LA. And I see myself living there for a while.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you came back to Wisconsin, hooked up with Marci here, your aunt, and you guys are doing Annie Up.
That is the name of our tour, yes.
Yeah. So where have you guys been doing promotions? Doing?
Oh my gosh, yes. I mean, we have a lot of gigs that we've played, which tomorrow night, and I know this is taped, but tomorrow night's our last gig, and But we've played in the Valley. Mile of Music sponsored us for a gig. We did a bunch of house concerts.
And stuff with
and
the Refuge
the Refuge Lounge, which is a music organization. So that was really fun. But the thing is Hillary is a professional musician, whereas I'm a garage musician. So she's like totally into promo. So she had us booked at like every radio station. We had to go on TV, and I
You
had to
put
like
this here.
Yeah.
Well, right, but this is here.
But
This
you're
is
retired now, so you got a lot of time. You're
I know,
supposed
but
to have
it
a lot
was
of time.
so nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
You know, I had to like go buy makeup to go on the TV. It was like, I don't wear makeup.
Yeah.
I had to buy like stuff to cover the bags under my
Oh.
eyes. It was really awful.
I only wear makeup for this show. Yeah. So you guys are doing Annie Up promotions, and what else? What else have you guys been up to?
We went snowshoeing.
We went snowshoeing.
We went snowshoeing, and like I said, a lot of skip-bo.
Played Skip-Bo.
Yeah.
Do you play Skip-Bo with your girls?
I used to. I'm more of a Texas Hold'em guy. I like
Okay.
taking my daughter's piggy bank money. You know, it's just. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, just playing cards and hanging out, drinking
Yeah.
coffee.
Then switching over to wine.
Yes.
so the first song, what was that one called?
It's called Crossing the Line. And I wrote that song a few years ago now, and I don't know why, but sometimes songs find me in really weird ways. And there was just one night, the day I bought my mandolin, actually, or it was like around 2 a.m. I just was in an empty bathtub strumming and writing, like churning it out. And that's just where the song was born, was in this...
So did you teach yourself how to play the mandolin?
Yeah, actually, yeah. I don't even know why. Sometimes, I think of it as like a chick guitar, you know?
Yeah.
Like
It's got a small neck,
it's a
so
smaller
it's easy
neck,
to
so it's
play
easier
the
to bar.
mandolin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, and it's got a certain tuning that's very melodic. And the funny thing is that song is similar to a song that I wrote when I first got my mandolin. And
Really?
We just figured
We
that
just
out.
figured that out. Which
Wow.
we're gonna play that
song.
song.
Good.
Yeah,
Are you guys
so
gonna play that
compare.
one next?
Yes.
Or
Why not?
I think that's
what one's that
probably,
one called?
Garden song, I think.
The Garden Song.
You wrote it, so I hope you know what it is.
I don't have a lot of names for my songs.
Well, I guess we're gonna play the Garden Song with Marci and Hillary.
I guess we are.
2, 3. Do 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 look at you. There's a fire down below where they never let the common person go. Stay out here where the morning air is clear and you
Thanks for joining us at Waupaca Local Live. In the studio, we have members of Annie Up, Hillary Reynolds, and Marci Beaucoup. Now, you guys just did a song. It was, what was the name of that song again?
The Garden Song.
The Garden Song. You guys seem a little hesitant on that. Maybe it's maybe a little more work on the title, or is it just the Garden Song?
It's just the garden song. I'm not good at naming songs, but
That's all right.
so-
But you sang beautifully.
Thank you.
We've been doing the show for about a year, me and Marci and the rest of the gang here, and I've never heard you sing before. You pulled it off pretty well.
Thank you.
Yeah, she did. She did.
She did.
Yeah, there you go. And
Yeah.
I'd like to focus a little bit on what Hillary's been doing
Yes.
out west with Peridot.
Yeah, that's my group actually. It's a trio.
And the name, where did that come from?
I'm not somebody who really plans a lot of things. I'm not somebody who sits and
true.
mulls over, oh, this would be a great band name someday.
Like the Garden Song.
I don't.
Right.
Yeah, it's very. I just don't think about that stuff, and I don't know where it came from, but all of a sudden I just knew that was the direction I wanted to take my music, and I wanted to have. I originally had it as Hillary Reynolds Band, and I just didn't really like the personal name.
Yeah,
or
having your name in
attachment.
it.
Yeah,
Right.
I
Yeah.
didn't
It's a
like
little
that,
weird.
and it felt very unauthentic and disingenuous to the writing relationship that I have with my cellist, who writes a great deal with me, and he, it just felt weird to have my name be the project.
Yeah.
And so Peridot was born just out of a desire to have like my music speak to an element of me as opposed to being me. And
It's also your birthstone.
Yeah,
It is.
we talked about that earlier.
it is, and it's called, it's Peridot. It means to find what was once lost. And I think that's something that music can provide. It can find something in you or spark something in you.
It's very deep.
It is
Yes.
actually.
My niece is deep.
I think about that kind of stuff. That's the stuff I think about.
So you said that you have a band, and I kind of did a little bit of research on YouTube, and you said you have two other bandmates.
Yes, I have a cellist. His name is Trevor Jarvis,
And he's been with you since the beginning, since Berkeley.
Since Berkeley, really.
Yeah,
He's my
alter
guy.
ego.
He's my. I call him my work husband.
Yeah.
Just because, it's a good thing we're not actually married, because we'd kill each other.
Aren't all husbands work husbands though, kind of? Am I right?
But he's great, and he's originally from the East Coast, and he's made the jump to LA as well. And then my guitarist is actually from Australia. His name's Martin, and
he has a cool accent.
yes, he does.
Yeah.
I
Which
don't
is
know.
why you like him?
Maybe, I don't know. He's peculiar. He's really relaxed and totally is the opposite of myself and Trevor in that way. No neurotic tendencies.
No. So I noticed you said you have a three-piece band, but in several of your videos, you have 4 other bandmates.
Yeah, well, that would be the Hillary Reynolds Band iteration.
Was that
of things.
before or after Peridot?
It was
Probably
before.
Before.
And so Peridot is, it's just the 3 of us, and we've been doing a lot of writing and composing and recording, really, and that's been our main path. Since we've been in LA, there's just a great need for that, and in our industry, just creating the constant stream of content is really important.
So when you say stream of content, it's like there's music behind everything, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what you're talking about. It's not necessarily doing pop songs and becoming the band, right?
Yeah, we personally as a group, we are the most lit up when we're by ourselves writing and hatching these songs. It's not about the performance itself or performing it for people. It's
Right.
about collaborating with visual arts and other sonic escapes and platforms in order for our songs to be heard. It's not necessarily coming from us on stage and creating a show and a spectacle. So
I know that your sound has definitely changed a little bit compared with the Hillary Reynolds band to Peridot, because with Hillary Reynolds band you had Lonely Work, I believe.
oh no, that's
No,
actually
that's
Peridot.
that's Peridot.
Yeah.
Yep.
We had the song called Honey Come Home.
Yes.
And that was, and it's more nuanced and more produced and less stripped down, less
Yes.
folk
Yeah.
at the core of it.
Or the song Tightrope also is kind of like a more of an upbeat,
it's
kind
more
of
upbeat.
poppy.
Yeah.
I don't want to use that word though. I hate using that word. I just
Well, it
like
is
using
pop. I mean, it's basically, I grew up listening to the Beach Boys, a lot of
Ooh.
Beach Boys.
My brother liked the
and-
Beach Boys.
Yeah.
Yes, and
Her
so
Rip.
I think that
Sadly.
that to me is my, I can't not picture
But
the
you-
tan corduroys now.
Yeah.
But-
on the beach.
No, but he raised me on Beach Boys and Brian Wilson in particular, and I just think that song is more of my brain thinking in a more Brian Wilson way and
Right.
being more influenced by harmony and chordal things as
Right.
opposed to things that are more
Then a
mainstream.
beatbox. or-
Yeah.
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 Right. Definitely.
So how often do you and your bandmates get together and practice and kind of jam out?
Oh
and
my
figure
goodness.
things-
It's just it's pretty manic, and sometimes it's, a couple times a week to write or record. I've been doing a lot of writing for another songwriter up in Sacramento, actually. There's a big bluegrass scene up there.
Huh.
In
We're having a
Sacramento.
resurgence of that here too.
Oh,
Actually,
really?
Yes.
we've had quite a few
We've had
bluegrass acts
several.
on our show.
Yes.
And
It's
it's
great,
all the same
actually.
people, which
it's
is weird.
really, really, really cool.
Uh-huh.
And so, I was trying to think of what I did right before coming here, and that was recording with Trevor. We were
Oh.
tracking for a song for this other artist's record. So we're doing more of those projects as well. It's cool, and it's, we're not limiting ourselves, and we're not really committed to just one element of
Right.
being an artist. We're really trying to, collaborate with as many different spaces and people as possible, which is really cool.
It's a big world out there.
It really is.
Here we are in Waupaca, and we don't know anything
Yeah.
about the industry, and it's just
Right.
really interesting to hear.
Out
and-
west,
yeah,
bluegrass.
just all the stuff
There's-
that's
yeah,
going on
yeah.
in
Yeah.
the music industry.
It's
Yeah,
pretty
that's
wild,
awesome.
but it's great.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Great.
So,
Wanna do another song?
do you guys want to do another song, or are you
Yeah,
guys gonna?
Sure.
yeah, we have a couple more that we can do.
Awesome.
All right.
Got a couple more.
I wanna breathe underwater. I wanna feel the ocean floor and dance in the waves till the sun dips low. And there's no light at the bottom. There's only silence and space, and the sound of my beating heart is the only pulse that awaits. I'm not alone. I'm not alone. I'm not alone anymore. I'm not alone. I'm not alone anymore. laces up my sleeves. And I'm running to myself, leave the living hell behind me. Oh, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. I'm not alone anymore. I'm not alone. No, I'm not alone anymore. Hey, 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 oh, hey, no, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. I'm not alone anymore. I'm not alone. No, I'm not alone
I kind of like the image of not being able to catch someone and just, you know, when that harvest moon rises, it feels like it's right there and it's touchable, but really you can't touch it. So that's kind of like what this love song is. 1, 2, 1. How many times must I pick up the pieces and watch you go before I'm on my own? How many times must I turn on the table before I know that I'm all alone? It's over and over, over and over again. Over and over, over and over again. Hey, I've reached the end of my rope, wasted every night in June, just trying to tie a lasso around the moon. Every time I think we have a little magic, you let me go, that my heart turns cold. I try to surrender, but you got me second guessing everything I know. But now I'm on my own. It's over and over, over and over again. Over and over, over and over again. Hey, I've reached the end of my rope, wasted every night in June, trying to tie a lasso around the moon. Hey, I've reached the end of my rope, wasted every night in June, just trying to tie a lasso around the moon. Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining us on Waupaca Local Live. We have Hillary Reynolds from Peridot and Annie Up, and then we also have our friend Marci Beaucoup from Aunite and Waupaca Local Live. So we give them a hand. So you guys just played a couple songs. I know you guys mentioned what songs they were. Can you give us a review of those?
So the first of that little segment, it's called Not Alone, and I wrote it a couple months ago. It's my freshest.
The fresh
piece,
song.
You know, yeah.
Right.
And then the last one we just played is called Lasso Around the Moon. So, yeah.
And you're referring to something that's just out of grasp?
Just out of reach.
Yeah.
And kind of, you know, it's unattainable. So, you know, but yet you still try.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I noticed you guys kind of switched up your instruments a little bit. You grabbed the
did.
mandolin and
Right.
Hillary had the guitar.
Yeah.
Is there
Right.
any other instruments that you guys enjoy playing?
Well, we mostly play piano. Both of us do.
We don't actually really
We don't really
these
play these instruments,
Wow.
but I mean, we kind of do. But
You did
we
pretty
do for
well at
writing.
it.
I mean, you know, you've
For
seen some
writing
really great
person.
mandolin players on this show. We use it more like a guitar, I would
Yes,
say.
chick
You know,
guitar, yeah.
Chick guitar. We don't really do any soloing, but you know, pianos aren't very portable.
No.
And it was really cold today.
Yeah, so we decided to do all acoustic.
It wasn't cold today, sorry, cold tonight.
tonight. Yes.
Yeah.
And we were
Yeah.
tired.
We
It's
were
not
just,
very
yeah.
cold for Wisconsin now. It's like 30
It was
degrees
nothing,
out there.
yeah.
Yeah, but mostly, I mean, I was a pianist, and Hillary took piano and viola, but was a great, had some really great pianist ability, and most of our songs, I think both of us write our songs on piano.
Yeah.
First and foremost for most songs.
For
don't you
most
think?
songs, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So, what kind of music do you guys like to listen to on your off time? What inspires you? What's in your car right now in the
well,
8-track?
I'm bad, you know, I have to admit, I'm trying to listen to more like regional and local musicians, to
Yeah.
be honest with you, because I feel like we need to just broaden our horizons and get away from just what we're being
The
fed.
mainstream.
But that said, I worship Donald Fagen from Steely Dan.
I know you're a big Steely Dan fan.
I'm a big Steely Dan
She
fan,
is.
and I really love those guys, and I like that kind of jazz fusion type music. So
What about you,
and
Hillary?
Hillary?
I'm listening to a lot of different things. So there's this group called Fat Freddy's Drop, which is more of this like, I mean, they're more experimental. They're out of New Zealand. They're really, really cool. And then I'm listening to a lot of Scandinavian artists.
Oh,
so
right.
Tingsek, Aurora. There's something in the water. I don't really know what it is, but and Sigur Rós.
People will have to Google all this.
I know,
It's really
it's-
kind of obscure.
It is
actually.
obscure stuff. Iron and
Freddy-
Wine.
What was that?
Fat Freddy's Drop, Tingsek, Aurora, and then a lot of Iron and Wine too, because I know he just released a new record recently, which I think is wonderful. And not really a lot of mainstream stuff for me.
No.
I'm kind of bored
Yeah.
with the one-dimensional sound, and so I just kind of, I mean, the cool thing about things like Spotify, Apple Music is just that there's the whole universe of music is so available and ready
Right.
for you to discover, and everything's so accessible, and that's really cool that, you know, I don't really have to rely on mainstream radio necessarily anymore to know what's current or what's new. And actually now living in LA, I kind of know how, you know, the infrastructure of those records and what goes into making them, and it's, you know, years of work, and you know, songs are not treated in any precious way when it comes to creating a mainstream record. I've had friends that have had like really some pretty amazing cuts, you know, on like Rihanna records or something, you know, Beyonce even, and at the last second they'll change it up, you
Yeah.
know. So it's not a very precious industry, and I love listening to music that is taken seriously and that is precious to
Right.
the writers.
It's interesting
So-
because Hillary, I think a couple things. Recently, you sent me something that you had written, but then it got produced, and it was like,
Oh yeah,
it was
Top
crazy.
40,
And
yeah.
I'm like, I wanted to
Wow.
just, I didn't know what to tell you. Like, what the heck, Hillary?
It's
it was
crazy.
like, it was set to this crazy, like,
dance track.
Yeah, and I'm
it's
like,
very different.
that's the direction you're going. But she gave this song to this producer, and that's what they did with it. And
So did
that's a
they
little
change it
horrifying.
up?
Yes.
Or
Well, yeah, it's interesting. I've gone into this experience of living in LA just by like saying, you know what, I am not going to judge anything. I'm just going to be open to it all, whether it's, you know, writers that, you know, I just don't have any context for and X, Y, and Z genres. I'm just going to experience and play, and it's all going to be a big sandbox, and I'm going to just figure it out. And I've just had to kind of like trust and be more open and willing, you know, to participate.
Willing to
in
let that song go.
Yeah,
Right.
and it's cool, you know, and it is what it is. I would never treat my songs that way just because I don't know how to use computers that well, like in that as an instrument. But it's really eye-opening, and it's pushed me in a lot of different directions, and I know that it's only going to help me grow and grow and grow. So.
Well, that's the other part that I was going to say is that what you mentioned, and I've heard you say to a couple of people, this is sort of interesting, that there's endless opportunity out there. And I think that's an interesting way to put it, because I think we're really at a crossroads with the music industry. You know, where we were raised, and especially me, I'm so much older than you, Wes. But, you know, there were the pop stars, and that was who we listened to. But now it's everybody. And what Hillary is saying is that if you are earnest and you have talent, there is endless opportunity. And I felt like that was a really hopeful thing to hear.
Yeah, I think that's true. I believe that's true, and I've experienced it. And you know, people
really
who are
cool.
really dedicated to their craft, you know, that still means something.
Right.
So that should be
I just
hopeful.
want to mention one more thing. So tell us about the Japanese commercials.
Oh.
It's funny.
Oh, gosh.
She's very open to doing just about anything.
Yeah, I've done a few really fun, just like they're called, you know, obviously advertisements and jingles. And
How about the air conditioner one?
it's been, you know, it's what you were talking about. There's, you know, I work with this really awesome guy who is, you know, he works for this advertisement company, but they're actually located in Japan. Like most of their clientele is in Japan. And so I've done stuff for like Universal Studios or Sony or like air conditioning companies or grocery stores. But it's funny because like I actually am like almost like a teacher, grammar teacher, and I, you know, spell check things and make sure that the sentences, the lyrics make sense, that they actually mean something and they're not just like random
Like the translation
imagery.
makes sense,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
And so that's really, it's a fun project just because we all experience music, so it's just such a different experience, and especially English as a second language. What sounds cool is actually, you know, what they care about, what motivates the song as opposed to what it means, actually. And so, you know, it was just like this commercial that I had to do for this air conditioning company. It was like, you open the blinds to show me how beautiful the world is. Such a wonderful world to see out my window. And that was it.
And that was supposed to mean air conditioning.
That was supposed to mean air conditioning. And it's so fun though. And you know, like I just love working with people who just are just like, okay, well, here's the project, here's what we're dealing with, and you just kind of have to jump in and say, all right, let's do it.
Yep.
So that's kind of been what I've been doing in LA, is just a whole lot of experiments. Experiments.
So what's next for Peridot? Where can people find your music? What's going on?
We are on Spotify. We're on iTunes, Amazon. We're everywhere, and everywhere you can be. And we're going to be coming back to Wisconsin in the middle of April for a few shows. One is actually at the Waupaca Arts Center.
It's at the Gerald Opera House.
Gerald
Waupaca
Opera
Arts.
House. Waupaca
Right.
Arts.
Our friends in Waupaca.
Yeah.
So is that a Peridot show or is it an Annie O?
Nope, it's Peridot.
Peridot. So we're going to be there for a night of music and debauchery, and it'll be great, on April 19th. And then we're doing a few shows just in Milwaukee, Madison, and Appleton, just with this group called the Wisconsin Vinyl Collective, and it'll just be a touring show that happens for
Wonderful.
the weekend, like the weekend of April 20th. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
So April 19th is you can catch Peridot at the Waupaca Opera House.
Yeah,
correct?
the Gerald Opera
The
House.
Gerald Opera
In
House,
Waupaca,
and I want to thank our guests here on Waupaca Local Live, Hillary Reynolds from Peridot and Annie Up, and of course Marci Beaucoup. Thank you for doing a great job, guys.
Thank you, Les. It's been great being here.
And of course, thank you for the crew behind the set,
That's right.
Chris, Mark, Wayne, and Josh, and our audience.
Thanks very much.
Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome.
All right.
Good job, guys.
Thank you.
All right.
Da 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 da. Down, da, 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 da. You come calling in the morning, just before I'm awake, turn into a shadow, drift into a dream, disappear into the day. Some days I wonder if I've lost my mind. Chasing blue, babe, I'm chasing you. Chasing blue, babe, I'm chasing you. Da da da. Walk beside me through the fields in the rain. You're out across the ocean, and somewhere in the wind I swear I heard your name. Some days I wonder if I've lost my mind. Chasing you, chasing blue, babe, I'm chasing you. You've gotten good at hiding above the tree line, and some days I wonder if I've lost my mind. Oh, some days I wonder if we're out of time. Chasing blue, babe, I'm chasing you. Chasing blue, babe, I'm chasing you.